I need you to stop scrolling for 60 seconds, because what I'm about to share changes everything you thought you knew about the products in your home. Myth that brightly colored cereals, fruity medications, and gentle kids' products are safe because they're FDA approved and heavily advertised. The truth. Many contain ingredients banned in other countries, artificial dyes linked to behavioral issues, preservatives that disrupt gut health. Hormone-disrupting chemicals like phthalates, parabens, and synthetic fragrances are hiding in plain sight, feminizing or masculinizing bodies in ways we're only beginning to understand. I'm going live with shamanic guide Chris Starlight, herbalist Sarah B., musician Evan Sturgeon, and organic product maker J-Date. On YouTube and Facebook at Sacred Kingdom. This conversation will be raw, unfiltered, and packed with solutions you can implement today. We're not holding back. Join us.
There we go. Wow. Talk about technical difficulties today. So we were going to be starting about 30 minutes ago. And I got to say, it's been a day of really pushing through the difficulty, pushing through the glitches of AI and technology. And I'm grateful to be here today. And it's 111, and not just 111, but it's 111 with a 1 as the year as well. So it is 111, making it 4 ones. So in the last episode of this series, we explored talking about ingredients and what ingredients to look for when it comes to food, your home hygiene products, as well as any other household items that you use. So we gave you guys examples of what kind of ingredients to look for on labels and how to read labels. We also talked about the science as well as the holistic side of how these chemicals can affect us and what to look for, and also transfer over to cleaner and safer products as well. So I'm going to be joined with a few of our community members of the Sacred Kingdom, and that is Sarah, and Nate. But before we get started, let's watch a preview video to give us an idea of the topics for this episode.
One of the reasons EWG is focusing on children's health is because of the unique susceptibility children have. They are in critical periods of development. Exposure to pollutants, exposure to chemicals may have a much greater impact than it does later in life. And so it's really critical to minimize that exposure, minimize the potential harm from contaminants.
Unfortunately, in today's world, children are exposed to a lot of potentially harmful things. They're exposed to air pollution, which causes asthma and other respiratory diseases. They're exposed to pesticides. Those pesticides can cause damage to the infant's developing brain that shows up as reduced intelligence, shortened attention span, disordered behavior. And a third big hazard that confronts children in today's world is lead.
Since I got asthma, my parents were like super protective, and I couldn't really do a lot of things that other kids could do. Going outside could affect my asthma, so I mostly stayed in the house reading books. In elementary school, I started wheezing because it was really hot in the room. So I was literally about to like pass out, and my teacher kept telling me, finish your test, then you can go to the nurse. I was literally crying, telling her I need to go to the nurse. And I collapsed in the middle of the hallway. They got the nurse, and the nurse had to come get me and get a wheelchair, and then I was in the hospital for the longest time. I'm kind of used to it now. It's part of you basically, so you have to make sure your breathing is right. Like, it's not something to play with, but like as a kid, you had to make sure your mom had you and they're watching you take your inhaler, taking your nebulizers every 2 hours and all that stuff.
The last 10 years, has been a nightmare. Literally a nightmare. I mean, to the point where it made me a stay-at-home mom. You know what I mean? Because I can't see myself asking someone for permission and because my child barely over there breathing. I wish that other people knew what I didn't know before I knew my child had asthma, and that is that it's very serious. It's nothing to take lightly. It's nothing to say, wait a minute, baby, just hold on for a minute. No, it needs immediate attention.
When you look at the numbers on children's environmental health, what you see is that a whole series of chronic non-communicable diseases in American children are on the rise. So childhood asthma has increased threefold, 300%, since the 1970s. Childhood cancer, the death rate is down, but the incidence of childhood cancer, the number of new cases per 1,000 children, has gone up 40%. Childhood obesity has tripled. Rates of neurological problems are skyrocketing. And people ask, well, what's causing this? And I respond by saying, well, it couldn't be genetics. Genetics simply doesn't bring about change that quickly. And so it's environment, and I think it's a combination of toxic chemicals, lifestyle changes. We're beginning to identify some of the specific chemicals that cause these diseases. The overarching mission here is that if we can discover the chemicals that cause disease in children, then we can take action to prevent exposures to those chemicals.
As a parent, I know all this information about chemical pollutants, contaminants, which product to buy, which product not to buy, can be extremely overwhelming. But at EWG, we really try to provide information to cut through the noise so that you know what to focus on, places where you can take direct action that may benefit your child's health. We are having an impact. Change is happening in the market. We're seeing cosmetics companies, cleaners companies reformulate. But at the same time, there's a significant amount of work to do. There's still hundreds of contaminants that we have very little safety information on, and other contaminants that are of concern and are still in products on the market and on the shelves today. With your support and with your involvement in these issues, we think even more change can happen.
Like it was a whole situation.
Yeah, it's wild. She don't have no bottom teeth.
Ooh.
She was fighting for her life.
So that is a little preview into some of what this episode will be about, which will be about children products and the chemicals that are in their products. This can be their cereals, their food, their drinks, as well as their medications. And then we're also going to be touching on, as well as we continue into this episode, we are going to be talking about the women's side as well and gender products, because there are vast amounts of harsh chemicals and toxic chemicals that are within these feminine products. And if our feminine are inserting these products into their bodies, if they are putting them into their bloodstream, then there are consequences to that, and there are effects that are taking place that are causing cancers and disease, as well as other irritations in the body that are just very valuable to address today. So we'll be talking about the children's side and the products, the chemicals that are in the children's side. And then the second half of this podcast, we will also be talking about the gender products. And that's even like colognes and fragrances and deodorants. They advertise these soaps and shampoos for men like Old Spice and Body Armor and stuff like that. And a lot of that stuff is literally gender propaganda, and it's filled with loaded chemicals, as well as the genitalia area and reproduction and so much more. So we're going to be deep diving in this episode. And thank you, Evan, Jade, and Sarah, for joining again as we deep dive into episode 2.
Brandy.
Yoo-hoo.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
So we will go ahead and dive into a document that Jade has made for us. And this document is a document that is going to help us to be able to see the direct effects that some of these chemicals have and how to be aware of it. And along with that, there will be also some more details to go along with that. So we're going to go ahead and pull that up for you guys so you guys can take a look at it and read along. And I'm going to hand it over to Jade, and I'm going to let her kind of guide us through this.
I'm gonna kind of skip along some stuff because it is pretty long. Like a good old summary.
Maybe I have a suggestion. I have a little 5-pointed, bullet-pointed thing here. Maybe it might be faster if I bring this up and then you tell us why it's good or bad or indifferent.
Okay.
Because you're the expert for the information, right?
I wouldn't say expert, but
Well,
I'm
you've done a
still
lot.
learning.
Well, you have done a lot of very good, deep research. So I want to bullet point that for the whole audience, first of all. She knows what she's talking about. But as a parent, I kind of did a little deep dive before this podcast real quick. I don't mean to take the floor away from you. I just wanted to add this. Maybe it might make it easier because it's a lot of data.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we could just talk about 5 basic body care products out there for the parents to be aware of, ones that really affect children and are targeted towards their happiness and well-being, right?
Yeah.
So we could start with bubble bath and like fun body wash, all these scents and wacky watermelon and all these things that are fluorescent red and things like that. Like lip balm, lip gloss, or play makeup, scented lotions, sprays, body mist for the teenagers, of course, because they have to smell,
Yeah.
whatever, right? Hip,
Yeah.
whatever adjective you want to put in there. Nail polish, nail products for us ladies,
Mhm.
and then synthetic wipes for the babies, for the
Yeah.
kids, the hand sanitizers, So maybe that might give us a little bit of place to go with ingredients we'll find and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a good. That's around where I was gonna go with the summary.
Yeah, perfect. It's awesome.
So I want to start off with um obviously the first one, synthetic fragrance, because it is in a lot of shampoos, conditioners, body washes, shaving creams, deodorants, perfumes, colognes, lotions, creams, and facial cleaners. It's also in household products like air fresheners, laundry detergent, dish detergents,
Mm.
softeners, scented candles, surface cleaners, and other cleaners. Um, it's it's linked to a lot of allergies.
Mm.
Overall, it's
Interesting.
very harmful to the nose. For people that are allergic to it and stuff, it burns their nose. Um,
Mm.
it's also linked to hormone disruption. There's a lot of petroleum byproducts which can potentially are potentially harmful substances like phthalates. Um, they're all designed in a laboratory. None of them are like natural. Like
Yeah.
essential oils are natural, essentially. So they would take the way that. So I'll explain synthetic fragrance first. The way they make synthetic fragrance, they take it in a lab, and they either take um like fragrances from animals or like plants and stuff, and then they'll put them in like these like little containers, and they add chemicals and stuff to make them last longer and be like more of a product, so they can make more money
Mm.
off it in the long run, and which in return, essential oils are more expensive because they're more reduced, like what's the word? Uh, they're oil based. So the way they make them, you would take, say, lavender. They would take the tops of the lavender, the flowers, even the stem, and they put it in the tops of like this big old tin thing, and they boil water underneath it, and it boils them and steams them, and then the steam hits the top, and then it trickles down under like into this tube, and then that's what the essential oil is. That's why it's more natural, because it's only made with water and the flower itself. It doesn't have any additives or chemicals like um this is going to be jumping all the way to the back, but um aluminum. Aluminum is found in them a lot. And
That's
they,
interesting.
yeah.
Wow.
Um,
I mean, I've always wondered
aluminum,
why it was in there. I'm like, I get so frustrated looking at products, like, to add to what you're saying, oh, this looks pretty natural. Then, dun, dun, there's aluminum or something, and I'm like, why? Like, it's almost impossible to find an aluminum-free makeup.
yeah. So
I mean,
while we're
literally,
on,
like, you
yeah, I'm
know,
gonna ADHD through this because
yeah.
that's how my brain works. But we're jumping to
No, but
aluminum.
I love this because it's like what all of us sit there and wonder when we're in the aisle, like looking at stuff, like, man, what does this stuff even mean? Like, it's so good you're explaining this stuff. So that's what
Yeah.
a phthalate is basically, huh? Is like a synthetic fragrance, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I always wonder, what is a phthalate? And first of all, who the heck thought of that the way it's spelt? But now I understand exactly what it is. Thank you, I appreciate that.
If
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, I think it's like a petrol derived.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like it's a gas of some sort, you know.
right.
And then it's turned into a chemical, which is in return into a liquid, you know, and then they use it for stuff.
Okay, so when we hear what phthalates do, they call endocrine disruptors, right? Okay.
Yeah.
See,
We can
this is
jump
cool.
to phthalates after aluminum.
See, this is why we had so many technical difficulties, is because this information has to be shared with everybody so we understand what we're really talking about.
So aluminum is found in a multitude
got that right.
of products. They are in some cosmetics and antiperspirants, dental products, astringents, sedicants, foil, pots and pans. It's also a component in many customer goods such as antacids, buffered aspirin, some cosmetics, antiperspirants, food additives, and certain food colorings. Food and storage, like foil, pots and pans, and other cookware, some of them leak into our food. Some components and appliances that can be made of aluminum, like skincare, some cleaners, lotions, and sunscreens. They use it as a food additive for the color and to stabilize it. In processed foods like cheese, it's a significant source of sodium aluminum phosphate as a stabilizer.
That's a fancy word for it doesn't need to be there, but we put it there anyway.
Yeah.
I also want to add vaccines are a huge one that aluminum are in, and the same with mercury. And the neurotoxicity.
Pharmaceuticals too.
Lots of pharmaceuticals. And it's one of the few, fluoride is also aluminum. It's a byproduct of aluminum, and it's in water, and it's in toothpaste, and it's in everything else too. Not everything else, but a lot of things. And it's one of the few, Jade might get around to this, but it's one of the few things that can pass the blood-brain barrier and get into your brain and stay in your brain. And it can cause all sorts of neurological disorders, including Alzheimer's, dementia, and plethora of other things.
So forth. We'll get there.
Yeah.
It's also found in some herbs, pickles, even food likes like tea, have various levels of aluminum, powdered aluminum, like used in fireworks or explosives. And they use it in industrial uses like water treatment, abrasives, furniture linings, construction, building facades, siding, roofing. Those last ones come with the society that we live in and the structure of having and wanting to build faster with a less amount of product.
Which is great because it is a light metal and it's easy to work with, but if you're consistently being exposed to it, and it's not necessarily as bad whenever it's like in the form of a ladder or something like that, because it's not being absorbed into your body that much. But
yeah,
when it comes to being in products and stuff like that, you really got to watch it.
Yeah, aluminum leaches from cookware with acidic foods mostly. The lead up in the body can cause flu-like illness, bone weakness, and memory problems. I can't read today. Linked to many memory problems, many can contribute to degenerative diseases. I can't.
Neurodegenerative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can cause inhaling it can cause metal-like fume fever, like which is like headaches, fever, chills, muscle aches. It can cause brain tissue damage, causing cognitive stress, and potentially, yeah, potentially interfering with nerve transport. It affects your nerves to be able to transport your feelings, knowledge, and so forth from point A to point B.
So just to piggyback on that, that right there is exactly the cause of Alzheimer's and dementia, and even like certain ADD, ADHD, and even some autistic traits that come along because it disrupts your neurons. Your neurons are electrical in your brain, and your nerves are electrical. They all send electrical signals, and if there's metals that are getting in the way of those signals being transmitted, those neural pathways cannot interact with each other, and then they end up shrinking up and shriveling and not being used anymore because they cannot be used. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of it like corrosion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. I've done a deep dive into vaccines because I have a child who was injured by vaccines. By his second dose of his MMR, I was doing what everyone wanted me to do, and didn't realize there was anything wrong with it. And I didn't even know that there was causation from the body having a detoxification problem. I didn't know any of that stuff a long time ago. But either way, yeah. The thing is, we have to remember that if you put something underneath the skin, it's nano-sized, first of all, and you put it underneath the skin, it has no way to dissipate. And then so when you add a preservative in a combination shot, such as an MMR, DTaP, TDAP, such as those, they put polysorbate AB80 in there, and then it inadvertently opens the blood-brain barrier as well. And then the metals get into the brain, which also short-circuit the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I learned this all off on their websites, on the vaccine manufacturers' websites. So I can post my sources, but yeah.
So as of today, aluminum is affecting everything from wildlife to the trees. It's leaked over everything, and it's killing everything.
It's isn't that part of how some of the pine trees are going in groves? I forget, they call it a sickness or something, but you know how as you drive on a road trip, you see like certain patches of the trees are like, getting yellow and stuff. I think that's from aluminum overload, isn't it?
Yeah, it plays a big part in it. And then, I mean, if people look up, you also see they're spraying the skies on a daily basis, whether you agree with what they're spraying or not. There's barium and aluminum and a lot of other stuff they put in those, and they've proven that the cardium and all sorts of heavy metals, and they've proven it because they go and test soil, they go and test the leaves of trees and everything else to see what's causing these things, and then we're getting massive amounts of heavy metal that's falling down from the sky, and that not only it's bathing the trees and wildlife, but people and everything else are breathing it in. It's becoming part of the ecosystem in a way. And so yeah, there's a lot of stuff traces back to heavy metals with problems that we're seeing right now.
Not the good heavy metal either.
Yeah.
I gotta share something too real quick before we continue. And Jade, thank you so much for kind of dropping us off with that last sentence that you had, which was about the effect on the nervous system and what that means for the transferring of information. I mean, that's huge. Like when you understand how significant the nervous system is to being able to basically like conduct and transmit your electrical current, which is connected to your spirit body, which is connected to your higher self, which is connected to your DNA, and you understand like that's everything when it comes to your makeup and your being to be able to exist properly. It's not even just like a health condition. It's actually like the components to making us exist properly is being poisoned, is being sabotaged through these things. So, if our DNA, which is what binds our material body to our light body, which gives us the information of our higher guidance or our spirit, or if you want to say God, you can say God, or source, or creator, or great mother, however it is that you relate to this energy force of consciousness, it's not going to be able to it's not going to be able to communicate. It's not going to be able to bring life into your physical life and your physical reality if it's not able to have a clear space for the transmissions of energy and information to be able to spread. And the thing is too, also, with the way that our body is made as a living organism that is made of multiple living organisms, these living organisms have to have a consciousness that is directing them. And that consciousness is directed through the electrical system. It is through our meridians and through our bloodstream and things of that nature. So if that is all not able to transpire, to transmit the messages and energy that keep us functioning as a human being, then that is definitely a one-way track to disease and cancer and other things of that nature. So it's very strategic, and it's very micro and macro level with what it is that's happening when it comes to these chemicals. And the beauty is that, we're alchemists and we are alchemical energy. So even if this stuff has happened to us, we're able to alchemize it through these conscious ways. So I'll leave it at that.
I think that's exactly why they're doing it. If we're trying to hold us down in a proverbial toxin fence.
Well, you're more controllable.
Oh yeah. When we're more susceptible to the things around us, like the TVs and the radio towers and our phone connections and our phone media and walking around us and seeing like billboards and stuff, like it's everywhere, and it's in every single kind of form. They want to persuade us to go in every direction and be at each other.
Yeah. And when you look at like these P65 warnings, the California warnings and everything else on these products, even music equipment I get right now has a P65 warning on it, and they always say may cause reproductive harm. And whenever you start to look into these things, everything has to be passed through the reproductive system because everything has to come out, right? And if it's constantly having to go through your liver and your kidneys and then eventually like coming out of number one or number two, it's passing through your reproductive organs and it's disrupting your ability to like reproduce. So there's a population control aspect to it as well. And it's undeniable that they are, right? Think about that one. And it's undeniable that they are trying to disconnect us from our higher self and our spirit and our intuition, because if we are connected with our spirit and our intuition, we automatically start to see through the stuff that they're trying to feed us to disrupt those things and how they're controlling us through them. And whenever we start to become aware of these things and we start to make changes, you start to really question, well, if they went that far, how far will they go? And then, yeah,
Well,
it's,
I mean, I know that I might be adding to jumping the topic, but like just think of what we're talking about now, and then also in conjunction with everything is freaking polyester. Everything is wrapped in plastic in the store. You know, they say that through just the plastic going into like the food and the drinks or whatever that the average human being eats, and inadvertently, of course, not purposely, like a credit card with a plastic like a month or a 6 month segment. It's I need to get the exact statistics there, but it's a lot more than you'd think. Like, what?
yeah, and
That
to
includes
piggyback
me
on
too.
that,
Holy crap! Like, you know, it's wild. You know.
to piggyback on that, the polyester and a lot of these fragrances and stuff that we've talked on, the phthalates and the PFAS and PFOAs and all that fun
Yeah.
stuff, they're petrol derived, right?
Mhm.
And I think we're going to talk about pesticides at some point too, but pesticides are largely derived from petrol and oil. Like what happens whenever you accidentally spill some oil in a lake? You kill all the fish, right?
Yeah.
So, why would they put something that they know that they're creating pesticides with, that can literally kill all the wildlife with because of all the volatile organic compounds within it, within crude oil? But we use it for like the food dyes, like red 40 and yellow 6 and blue 5 and like all that. That's petrol derived, right? The polyester, that's petrol derived, right? The pesticides are petrol derived, right?
Cheetos.
It's all stuff that is designed to disrupt your endocrine system and to. A lot of pesticides are actually patented as antibiotics. Anti meaning against or to kill, biotic mean life.
Yep. Fact.
I'll leave it at that.
Fact. Mic drop.
Yeah.
And with that,
Yeah.
we're going to take a commercial break.
Fitting commercial right there.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
I was
one of our
like,
page
even the
sponsors
Teddy
right there.
Grahams?
No, not the Teddy Graham.
She's-
They're
No,
so
that's-
cute.
That's how a commercial
That's
should
it.
be, though.
And that's just it. They're so cute, aren't they?
I can't
And just
hear
like
you,
little
Sarah
goldfish.
or Christo.
That's that propaganda right there.
Man, I wish that the food companies had to disclose things like the way the pharmaceutical industry does. They're like, yeah, get your Teddy grams, and then like for the other 30 seconds of the commercial, it's like, well, it may cause this, it may cause that, it may cause this, it may cause that. Get your Teddy grams today.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you know what? And the thought that went through my head right as you said that, about transparency is okay. I remember going through my journey as a mother. I didn't have any reference point, a person to ask in a personal sense because I'm adopted. My mother didn't have a child. She adopted me. Anyways, they don't give you those informations when you are standing there and the doctor says, oh, you need a flu shot because you're pregnant and you need to get the Tdap shot so you don't give your baby whooping cough or some shit. Oh, well, you're pregnant, because that's what they did to me and I didn't know what to do. And so I said, okay. And this was long before I was quote unquote awake, right? I didn't understand, but I didn't have the information, but either way, my point is they don't inform people.
Not at all. As a matter
No.
of fact, the system thrives on you being uninformed. And
Like they had a little paper there, but it didn't say, here, would you like to read these even cliff notes of the whole entire fold out pamphlet thing that came with these? They didn't do any of that. They just said, oh, it's fine. That's what they said. Here, sign here, they said.
So I want to
Right.
touch on parabens, and then I'm going to jump to food.
Yeah.
Yes. Parabens.
Or phthalates and parabens.
Yeah.
See here. I'll do phthalates first because I'm pretty. I don't know if I did parabens. Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Okay. Whichever one. Whatever one you find first.
Wow, you
I
really
think
did it. You did it on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love all the side information that we're adding to each content here because it's things that people would think about later going to do research,
So,
It's by
Parabens,
Talak.
Balak. This is a really good sheet.
Yeah, it's pretty long. I'll keep adding to it as I go.
Oh, this is great. Oh, you got the specific dyes too?
Oh yeah, that's what I'll be jumping to next after parabens.
Oh, parabens.
Yeah, parabens. It's by Talak.
Cool.
Yeah. What an amazing document you have there, for real. I would definitely, yeah.
Found it?
Parabens.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. Sure, I have everything.
So that was phthalates we talked about. Now it's parabens, eh?
Yeah.
All right.
Super
Nice.
common. Super common ingredients.
Yeah, so parabens are found in mascara, eyeshadow, foundation, lipstick, shampoos, conditioners, lotions, creams, facial cleaners, and moisturizers, shaving creams, deodorants, sunscreens, and some medications like over-the-counter prescription medications. They are linked to endocrine disruption and reproductive harm. Changes in menstrual cycles linked to certain cancers, particularly breast cancer. Hormone disruption can mimic hormone estrogen, can cause gestational diabetes and obesity. When applied to skin, it's absorbed directly into the blood, urine, and then other bodily tissues. So, like, goes into your blood, goes into your liver, then it comes out in your pee or in your poop. but before it comes out, it's all absorbed into your body, like it goes into your ovaries or down into your sperm and affects everything.
How many pregnant women have used scented perfume and lotion? I can
Just
Probably
raise
about.
my
all of
hand.
them.
I didn't know, right?
Yeah, let's
I
say
didn't
probably
know.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I
I'm
mean,
going
even the 10 years before you get pregnant, even, like, doesn't just, right? It's there.
Through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in a lot of stuff, and it's
And then
very
we wonder
concerning how
why.
much stuff it's in.
So now we understand why MTHFR gene mutations exist
Yep.
because of years and years and years of this stuff. My God, our
Absolutely.
grandparents put straight mercury on their cuts. You know what I'm saying? That's still in our genes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, for real.
Oh
They
boy.
say
yeah,
7 generations, you know?
and
So,
I stopped at medications, but it's also in like pet shampoos, sportswear, fabrics, packaged tortillas, or other
yeah.
baked goods, soft drinks, beer, jams, jellies, sauces, syrups, like everything, mixed vegetables, processed vegetables.
So we could do like a deep dive and figure out when exactly plastic took over the world, right? But ever since that day, along
I
with
can
the
tell you.
superphosphate fertilizers such as glyphosate,
Yeah.
used commercially, and like there's a lot of factors that go into it. But
Like the 30s.
yeah,
When they
that's
make cannabis
basically
illegal.
right
Yeah.
after DDT. Yeah.
It's always the 30s, man. The 30s was just like shadow government takeover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, turn of
Yeah.
the century for the medical association, but yeah.
Well,
I'm
that's
gonna
about the
jump
time.
down
That's,
to our artificial flavors and natural flavoring.
Oh, this is gonna be so good.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is for everybody. Like this is literally for everybody. This one
Yeah.
right here.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you go buy a freaking flavored tea at Dutch Brothers or something, they use artificial flavors.
Yes, they do.
You know,
Another thing
Yeah.
like
too.
Sonic
Another
slushies.
thing too is
They're not.
another thing too is like looking out for like dairy products, like cheese. Like some
Mm-hmm.
cheeses are literally almost plastic, or butter as well.
Yeah.
And the way they'll
Well,
label it is it'll say cheddar style slices. It'll say nothing about made from a cow or
cheese
made from a
food.
plant, like just straight up like synthetic. So
Yeah,
She's like cheese.
cheese food. But let me add just something real quick on that cheese topic. I saw a thing because I guess cheese is like one of the number one eaten foods across the world. And so now Pfizer now owns 90% of the rennet, which is the protein needed to make the culture for cheese of the world.
Yep.
However, there's an asterisk that goes on this. European Union is not allowing that. So anyway, yeah, that's disturbing.
Yeah, and to take that a little bit farther, it's like it's normally a naturally organic occurring compound that is medicinal, but they've done a
Synthesized it.
They've done a GMO swap on it, and it's now derived from some sort of mold or something. I forget exactly what it's derived from, but it's something that's not good for you, and they've kind of weaponized cheese in a way because of how they're making it. So,
weaponize the cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I love cheese.
That's how crazy it is. Like, wow.
Yeah.
So Jade, what specific ingredient did you want to start with?
Natural flavors and artificial and natural flavoring.
That word natural flavoring, it's all in a lot of little things snuck in there.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a big buzzword. Very misleading.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
this raspberry one or is it a different one?
It's right underneath that one.
Okay, there it is.
Say I was gonna skip that one because this one is like the same thing basically.
Mhm.
So, natural and artificial flavors are both found in all processed foods, from soda, candy, yogurt, all cereals to sauces to baked goods. With natural flavors, they're derived from plants and animals, species like fruit and veg extracts. Artificial ones are created in labs. Although fine chemical molecules can be identical, differing mainly origin. Natural source versus synthetic creation and processing. Anything labeled with flavor or the natural flavor ingredients list are like sodas, juices, flavored waters, coffee creamers, chips, cookies, crackers, candies, ice creams, plant-based milks, breads, cakes. They all come from, the natural source comes from like plants, animals, yeast, root, spices. But then they take them and they make them in a lab, and then they add chemicals and stuff to them in return to make more money and make it last longer. The example, like vanilla beans. The synthetic ones come from beavers' butt. It comes from the little sack in a beaver's butt. Okay, that's what you're eating. You're eating stuff from a beaver's butt.
Yummy.
Okay, how'd they find that out? Like, what? I mean, oh, that smells like vanilla? I mean, what?
Yeah, like,
Okay,
I wonder if they were just
TMI. Like,
eating a beaver one day and came across of it and it like
right.
busted in their face or something. You know, like, I don't know.
Like, what the heck? Don't even,
That's
I guess they must have been eating them or something and then been like, whoa, I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a very good question. How did they
I mean,
discover what that
what the
tastes
hell?
like?
How do you find that out? Huh.
What a
Right?
weird person it must have been.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's pretty
And
crazy.
like, I
That's
heard
the-
something about a rumor, I don't know if it's true, about taurine. It's amino acid, right? And I heard, I don't know if it's just a street rumor or whatever, but I heard that taurine, it's in Red Bull, whatever. And I heard that they use some kind of bull sperm or something. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
would you even understand there's something in there? What are you doing? Like, what? How do you learn? You just have an idea all of a sudden. What? How do you explain that to me, right? What?
Yeah.
How do you?
Yeah.
Why would you just think to check there? How would you? Oh, let's check a bull sperm. What in the fuck are you talking about? Like, do you know what I mean? Whoa.
Well, as crazy
Wait.
as it sounds, that's like, it's a very easy way to genetically mutate.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
As
Like,
crazy
maybe
as that
that's-
sounds.
That's really bizarre. And that brings you to livestock vaccinations and all this push for mRNA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a
I mean,
huge
as
one
long as
right
we're on
there.
topics of toxins.
Yeah, that's a huge one right there. Because even
Yeah.
though you may decide to opt out on vaccines yourself, that doesn't mean that the animals that you're eating had the opportunity to opt out on the vaccines
Or the cheese or the
antibiotic
lettuce.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
FD and C Red 40.
Yes.
Oh, right. The dives.
Oh, yes. This is a
Yep.
good one.
That's
And I layered them back to back to back, so they should all be, together.
Nice. Yeah, everyone focuses on red number 40, but really, like each color, I saw this really cool chart before this conversation. It was a while back. And it was like, it told each one, green, it makes the child feel overwhelmed in these ways. Yellow makes the child feel XYZ. Blue makes the child feel purple, makes the child feel whatever, red.
Yeah.
And it shows how it looks in the kid as far as behavior and performance.
Yeah.
It's a trip.
Yeah, it's really interesting actually.
Yeah.
How they
All of these things, these colors, like, are all the diseases, these kids have dysfunctions.
Oh yeah.
A lot
They
of them
can't sit
over.
still. They can't stop talking. They can't whatever. It's because you're giving them this stuff right here.
Yeah. Like
It's
a lot of the time I've noticed ADHD kids will out of pocket out of anger and they can't control it. Like they'll get so excited that they bite somebody or they punch somebody on accident. You know what I mean? It's just like if you were to shake up
yeah.
like you put some aluminum in a dryer and with a sheet and it creates a static electricity, right? You keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that, right? It's gonna eventually like cause so much electricity you're gonna shock yourself.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's built up electricity inside their little bodies and then they gotta like explode.
Well,
Right.
it's literally like shaking up a soda, like same chemical reaction type deal.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, literally the same concept right there.
Right. When you add all this stuff together, it becomes like a soup, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me that they try and separate the food dyes and whatnot, that they were trying to isolate Red 40 and everything. Because, I mean, like I said a few minutes ago, like they're all derived from the same thing. It's not like it's something different. It's the same exact thing, just in a different color.
Like, it's not that
Yeah.
red is number 40 is the bad one. They're all bad.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they're all bad.
Yeah.
Back to Red 40. It provides a vibrant reddish hue to various products, including candies, sodas, cosmetics. It's also used in some tattoo inks. It's also used in cotton candy, soft drinks, cherry flavored products, children's medications, and
Yep.
dairy products.
Go read the Tylenol. It does have 2 different colors in it.
Hmm.
Even baby aspirin does.
Yeah, it does.
Yep. Go look it up. Go read it. You will.
Yeah.
I've done looked.
So I want to make a little cross parallel for everybody out here. So, we're all seeing now the science, the facts behind the kind of side effects and effects that these individual chemicals and ingredients can have on the being. So then you think about, the kids and just everybody, us, our elders, we're all being pumped with many different versions of consuming these ingredients. And then, we're getting all these side effects happening simultaneously every single day over and over. So then after that, what happens? Oh, we create the problem and then we create the solution. So in comes Big Pharma, the hero that is here to help us. Because we are all damaged and we are all filled with cancer and disease and poison. And I wonder how it all began and how it all started and why all of a sudden.
Problem, reaction, solution.
Yep, exactly. So then think about the children, our children consume these products daily and it's like the only thing that they consume daily as well. And then on top of that, they're already fragile as children. So then what happens? Well, it appears to me, ma'am, that your son has ADHD. We are now going to have to prescribe him on this methamphetamine.
Right. Horrible choice.
Yeah, to help, air quotes, counteract everything he's eating.
Yeah. I want to take that a step farther right quick. And if you look into it, this is verifiable information. Around the 1930s, around the time they outlawed cannabis and they outlawed all the holistic means of curing yourself and staying healthy, the Rockefeller Foundation created not only the American education system, but they created the American medical education system. And they control from there on how medication and how disease was approached in our country.
Yep.
And and it all really makes sense because, like I said, a lot of this stuff comes from petrol. And when you look at what the Rockefeller is known for, his big thing is oil, right? So it's convenient that the people who took over kind of the world and our country have control over the education system and over the medical system in which people are subjected to and don't have much of a choice of getting out of. And then we're also like indoctrinated from the get-go, from day one, into the system. And then we're taught the system is the way that things are, and that's how it's always been, until you're late, like you finally learn later on that's not the case. And so, yeah, like you said, here comes Big Pharma after they created the problems, and then they sell you the solution, and the solution generally ends up causing more problems, which then they can try and sell you another solution for.
Yes. And then another example of that too is just like they do it in that way with pharmaceuticals, but then they also will do it with gender as well, which will be touching on gender. And I'm sure that this is honestly going to be a 2-part episode because there's just so much more to talk about as we go. But, you know, they really do it with gender too, especially with the females. Like you think about the female products and the way that they try to act like they have solutions for your body and what's natural for your body to go through. And then they kind of like weaponize it and demonize the natural cycles of life. Mm-hmm. And then they try to get you to pollute yourself with products that are filled with harsh chemicals, and you're taking those and putting them in the places that are most valuable to your being. And it's really incredible the depths that they have gone.
Yeah.
The amount of estrogen and progesterone I've taken in my life personally, because I took birth control for a very long time, is astronomical.
Same
Much less the
here.
chemicals I put on my face over the past course of my life. Like, whew, man.
Yeah, and they really target the women because they are the gender that carries the children.
Yeah.
If you can poison the women, I mean, the dudes are important too, because like it takes 2 to tango and 2 to make a baby, you know, but the women are the ones that carry the baby. The women are the ones that birth the baby. And
well, we have eggs in us, so every toxin we put into us, all of our eggs absorb it.
Exactly. And if you can corrupt a baby's immune system and their development before they even come out, you're guaranteed customers for pharmaceutical industry.
Yep.
This is so sad.
It's sad but true.
Mm-hmm.
And it's changing. I'll have to add that.
Yes, it is changing indeed. We're all waking up to it, and we're choosing better ways, and that's why I'm glad that this podcast exists and we have an opportunity to bring this information to the public, because it's crucial for people to understand.
Yep. Every little bit, you know, some people could be, you know, negative or naysayers and say, well, if it's all poison, then why does it matter if we pay attention? Well, because every little tiny bit helps that you take away. Bit by bit, piece by piece.
I'm a strong believer that the ripple effect is real, and that every little change we make with our habits, with what we choose to support, with what we do with our daily lives, does ripple out and does make a difference. And
for sure.
One of my favorite quotes of Here Late is, "I'm just one person. What can I do?" said 8 billion people.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If
Exactly.
8 billion people made a change, well, then that's a pretty quick change to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty significant. But
Right.
yeah.
So I'm going to skip down to food dyes because I am running short on time. It'll probably be my last one.
Ooh, there you go.
It's a little summary of what I was gonna say. Food dyes are found in mainly bright-colored processed foods, including candies, sodas, cereals, baked goods, snacks, salad dressings, pickles, yogurts, frostings, processed meats, enhance visual appeal. It's often petroleum-based and linked to potential health concerns and hyperactivity in children. Products you wouldn't expect to have are like taco shells, blueberry bagels, smoked salmon.
What?
Yep.
Taco
So-
shells?
Yep. So checking ingredient lists is very common foods like candies, cookies, cakes, fruit snacks, chips, glycerin, popsicles, sports drinks, drinks mixes, flavored waters, energy drinks, cakes, pickles, hot dogs, sausages,
Wow.
even some farm-raised
Yeah.
salmon, like I said, ice
Yep.
cream, sherbet, frozen desserts, yogurt.
Got
So,
that all.
like,
Oh yeah, that's it. But more. You know what I mean? It's like everything. It's where did I find it? Studies have linked to health concerns. Synthetic dyes cause hyperactivity in children. The FDA have stated and not found conclusive to such evidence because they're trying to hide such evidence.
yeah.
Some individuals have linked allergic reactions to these certain dyes because their natural sources are like plants, insects, and minerals. Synthetically from petroleum, using extraction from chemical synalysis, followed by purification and stabilization, with blending of the food, and then tested for safety.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah. By first party bias testers.
The colors are pulled from like natural things like roots, beets, turmeric, fruits, berries, paprika, spinach, insects. They like to use insects a lot. It seems with food dye for some reason.
There's a deep dive behind that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Conditioning is one thing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's
Testing.
actually toxins that are in the exoskeleton of the particular bugs, and I don't want to interrupt what you're talking about, but yeah, no, there's a deep dive behind that.
Every
Interesting.
time that they're about done with it, they add aluminum or some kind of metal before
Yep.
they're done with it. So that way it stabilizes. That's what the stabilizer is.
Yeah.
Fairy dust. Sprinkle fairy dust on top.
Yep. That is what they do.
Wow.
This is just like,
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what's occurred to me as you were talking? And I don't mean this in a judgmental way, but I thought to myself, okay, For us parents who know, we know, okay? Some of us parents know and we don't care. Some of us parents don't know. Some of us, there's a lot of different categories of people with no judgment. I'm just saying in general, right? In reality. And I've noticed that the idea is, well, okay, so I had this discussion with a very dear family member over the holiday. But the idea is, well, my child's fine. You know, we'll go buy these Skittles. Like, you know, like, do you know what I mean? So we need to really take ourselves back. And just because if our kid may or may not have a general immediate affected condition or diagnosis or behavior or whatever the kid fill in the blank, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that child's children will not. Right?
Absolutely.
So we just have to take all this stuff out. It doesn't just affect neurodivergent people.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
we have to ask ourselves, why is this happening, right? This is why.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
You know?
I will say
So-
that in places like the UK and I mean a lot of places do not allow what we
Yeah.
allow here in the United States.
Yeah.
You go over there and their food coloring is turmeric or annatto or beets or something like that. It's just one word. And so
And recognizable, furthermore.
very
We know what those are.
Yeah.
We can find them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Is in some weird long paragraph of words that you're like, what?
Oh,
How do you even
there's-
pronounce this? What is this? Like, yeah, no.
There's a reason why the United States allows so much inside and others do not.
absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's time to be known.
There's definitely a little bit of targeting.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit.
So definitely
Well, I
a little
would say
bit
North
of
America.
experimentation, really. They like to experiment on us and they don't like to hide it.
Yeah.
It's very out in the open, but also hidden in plain sight. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
As is
experiment.
everything.
I think experiment is a generous word for them. I think they know exactly what they're doing. I think the research has been here for a long time to show
Yeah, true.
what these things do to people, and I think that's why
Yeah.
they do
Yeah.
it, because they've gone to great lengths to suppress a lot of the research that has
Yep.
been done. And I mean, I can't tell you how many things I've come across where the FDA has been paid off by a certain company to like say their product is safe, you know. And when you look into who's in whose pocket, who's paying who, and why they're paying who, and what it benefits them, and it all starts to really make sense, man. It's a big money game and it's a big control game, and they do control. If you control the food system and you control the medical system, you control the entire population, hands down.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Oh, don't forget the water.
And the water is huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
The genetic connection and everything. Like we
Yeah.
talked about in the beginning.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, my little sister is 9, my youngest sister, and she was asking me the other day why I don't drink from the faucet or cook from the faucet water, because
Yeah.
my family does. And I was like, because it has lead and so on and so forth. Like, I actually told her and I showed her, and she's like, ew. She's like, that's really what is in our water? And I was like, yeah. Do you want to drink that? Do you want to drink poop? And she's like,
Yep.
she's like,
Yep.
she's like, no. I was like, do you want to drink floor cleaner? She's like, no. I was like, neither do I. I don't want it cooking into my food either. And she's like, oh, okay, I get it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 Don't make Kool-Aid with that water, girl.
Yeah, to piggyback on that, just in this last week, I've run into issue with my humidifier, which I could actually bring in here and show you guys. But anybody that uses a faucet sees calcium build up around like the bottom of your sink or whatever, right? And I've been using sink water to do the humidifier in like our rooms and guitar room, whatever. And there's so much stuff in the water that it has calcified the humidifier to the point where it's not working properly anymore. And if it's going to clog up a humidifier in that way, that should make people question, what is that doing to the inside of my body?
Yes.
And then people should also ask, like, well, why is my skin so dry all the time? Because if that's calcifying that, what would it be doing to my hands and my face and my hair and my the rest of my body if I'm allowing all that stuff to just kind of be there and sit there without filtering it out,
Example.
Yeah,
Here we
look at
go.
the top of that thing.
Okay. So I was like, where is it? So this is all calcium buildup and fluoride buildup from being in the water and boiling.
Wow.
This used to be clear.
Yeah. I even got
I'll even go as farther as look.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
like
what's
it's
going
falling
on.
off. It's at the point where it's like on my fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Nasty.
You're drinking and eating that.
This
people.
is what you're drinking. This is what's inside your water.
Yuck.
That's what you're cooking with. That's what's going inside your food.
Yeah.
That's why I make Shungite water.
That's what's calcifying your liver and what's calcifying your organs.
Your pineal gland.
That's why you have dry skin and itchy. And this is why you put so much lotion on, and then the lotion that you put on starts poisoning you. And then you want to put more on because you're like, I'm still itchy and dry. What's happening? I don't understand. So you put more on. And then you go to petroleum jelly, which is clogs your pores and then infects your skin. And then you're like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what to do. Now I'm breaking out.
I would say, right now, I have a lotion on it made with shea butter, almond oil, lavender, rose, and helichrysum.
That's what you
really
do right there.
That is some good stuff right there.
Yep. That's what I have on my face right now.
You know what's crazy too? What is the number one substance that they use for sexual products? Petroleum.
Petroleum.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Reproductive harm.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, and then let's let's take it a step farther.
No, dude,
the underwear are made of polyester. They're synthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
More xenoestrogens.
Yep.
Then the beautiful silken robe. It's not silk. It's what is it? More
polyester.
Xenoestrogens.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And then you're gonna drink out of a plastic bottle. Ooh, more xenoestrogens.
Yeah.
Oh, you smell that fragrance, that sexy candle. Ooh, more xenoestrogens.
Oh
yep.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Literally. You got to ask yourself again why. It's not. It's not. It's undeniable. It's right there. Just look. What we speak of is truth.
On that note, I'm gonna hop off here because I gotta attend to the kiddos and do some lunch.
Yeah.
All right, Jade. Well, thank you for joining us, and wow, yeah, thank you again for all that information and putting that together for us all.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I look forward to next episode and deep dive even a little bit more. Maybe I'll have way more time. Chaos. Chaos and lives with children.
Yeah.
No technical issues too either, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Right.
All right, I love you guys. I hope you guys have a good day.
Thanks, Jade.
All right, Jade. One love.
Bye.
Bye.
That's Jade, everybody. You know what? Let's take a little break, and if you guys want to check out a little preview of Jade's business, here you guys go.
While others mass produce with chemicals and shortcuts, one stay-at-home mama chose a different path. Jade spends months researching each ingredient, carefully sifting everything at least twice, testing every single product on herself before offering it to anyone else. She hand cuts poster cards captures every photo, adjusts recipes until they're perfect. 6 to 8 hours of love goes into each batch. This is Jade's Wellness Trade, where organic, plant-based products aren't just made, they're crafted with a mother's dedication. No animals harmed, no chemicals hidden, just pure, superior alternatives to what they're selling you in stores. Because the collective deserves better, and Jade's mission? To eventually teach you how to make these yourself. Visit jadeswellnesstrade.my.canva.site and discover what Mama Made really means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of doom and gloom with what we're talking about, and it can be overwhelming. And this could be a whole other episode of its own, but I do want to mention there are ways to detox from the things that we have been subjected to. A lot of it is plant-powered detox, or just fasting is a huge one. But once you start to get away from these chemicals, after you start to learn what's in a lot of the stuff and what they're doing to us, and you decide to cut them out, your body will get rid of a lot of it just naturally. But then there's also herbs and stuff that you can take to help use as a vehicle to get this stuff out of your body so that you can start functioning to your higher potential again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel like that might be part of part 2 or part 3, because honestly, this might be a 3-part one. So I think part 3 might be like deep diving into just all solutions and alternatives and things like that. And we'll talk about also, reprogramming and how to like navigate propaganda, because propaganda is a powerful tool, especially when it comes to our children and to other children and grandchildren and things of that nature. They put those characters together very intentionally, and they program those characters to then, kind of hypnotize the children into seeing, colors or fun or creativity mixed in with the, entrapment of trusting and believing in these corporations that are putting these things behind it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can speak from personal experience on that note. I have a teenage son, and he loves the Axe, loves the Old Spice because of the advertising.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get him to go to the more natural types, and he's like,
yeah,
oh my man.
Yeah,
it's a real thing.
That's a tough one, because the kids want to fit in and they want to be accepted by their peers. And a big way of being accepted by your peers nowadays is how you look, how you smell, and how you show up. And there's insecurities that they play on for the humans, where they not only advertise through commercials, but I mean, if you look at the movies and stuff people watch, they advertise like people drinking Cokes and Pepsis and going to McDonald's and everything else in a lot of these movies. And I mean, even whenever it comes to like cartoons and stuff, a lot of it's like based around, for one, not listening to your parents and just doing whatever you want to do. And then there's also the filtering in of like a big emphasis on sugary stuff like cakes and lollipops and soda and everything else that they try to normalize and make it seem cool, where there's like more healthy ways of eating those things. The majority of what's on the market is not, So there's very much a deep conditioning that comes with that.
So my son in along this journey, not currently, but in the past, had a friend who used to come over a lot, and during supper time, whatever. And this kid used to eat McDonald's literally almost every day. And so I was a cool parent and I made a really awesome dinner. I made, cheeseburgers and beans and whatever, all these things. And that kid was like, no thanks. And it was because his taste buds just didn't want it. Like, it wasn't processed enough. You know what I mean?
That's wild, man. Because
I made fries, like, I baked them or whatever myself, and they were delicious, whatever. But, like, nope, he wouldn't have it.
That's crazy. And I mean, it makes sense because it's what his palate is used to. But once you get away from those processed foods and you start eating real food, you start to realize that, like, oh, what I was tasting was not actually like good substance or something that was actually food. And personally, I've tried to go back and eat like processed stuff and whatnot, or like not intentionally all the time, but you taste the chemicals in it after you get away from it, right? And then you're like, oh my God, what are they feeding people?
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So it's weird that, like, whenever you're in it that far and that's what you're used to, the actual food tastes disgusting. Whereas when you finally get away from it and eat normal food, that stuff tastes disgusting. So bizarre.
On that same note, I literally have had a woman tell me that she was allergic to herbs. She could not do them. She could only do synthetically made chemicals. I was like, wow. She despised natural remedies because she says, I can't do them. My body's allergic to them.
I think what that means is that you have a bunch of toxins in your body, and then you introduce things that will help get rid of those toxins.
And it makes it seem worse, but it's actually getting rid of it. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's what, man, that's a big topic right there, is what starts to happen whenever you do start to detox, because it does feel like it feels like you're dying at first, because your body's trying to get rid of all the stuff, and the getting rid of the stuff process is not exactly a fun one, but it's crucial at the same time.
Yeah, that's the scary part. Like, everyone, okay, my family needs a parasite detox. I know it does. Yep, I love those. Those are one of my favorite drinks.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I love these. It's a ancient mushroom elixir, and they have reishi, chaga, and turkey tail, and then they make it a clean version of what a Coca-Cola would taste like.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a great alternative for everybody out there.
I also like the probiotic pop. It's like, if you look at it like, oh my gosh, it's 3 for $5. Well, don't look at it like that, because you're not going to be drinking 3 of them a day. No. You're going to have water, you know what I'm saying, and like tea, mostly water, and then your palate's going to change, and you're going to have one for a treat, like on Friday or something, like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's so hard.
So, like, baby steps. Like, my friend, for example, she doesn't drink anything but Coke. And she wanted to stop drinking Coke. And so she was trying to force herself to not have any. I'm like, girl, don't do that to yourself. If you're drinking 5 a day, 6 a day, okay, fine, accept that. It is the truth. Okay. You may not like it, cool, change it. Okay, so if you're drinking 10 a day, whatever the number is, start by doing 9, and then 8, and then 7, and then 6, and then... If you really want to change your life, I said this many times, it's okay. Do it in baby steps.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah, trying to do it all at once overnight is a good way to send your body into shock.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
Panic mode. But
even if you are totally putting all these toxic things in all the time and nothing good, well, your body's used to that.
Yeah.
So if you stop doing that, it's going to go, what?
Yeah. It's like weaning off. You got to wean yourself off of that frequency into another frequency, basically.
Yeah.
You can't just like that's a huge, like,
Yeah.
morphogenetic transformation for your being.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all this stuff we talk about is real, and man, it's super overwhelming if you look at it like that. But really, you just have to take it day by day, step by step, moment by moment, decision by decision, you know,
Yep.
and not judge
the
yourself for what
mindset.
you didn't know before. I've been through that too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I
With the
didn't realize
mindset
what I
too.
did was not the right thing. Whatever, it's okay, whatever. I forgive myself and everybody else included. I have to move past it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I'd say, like, to add to that is to have the mindset that you are doing it and that
Yeah.
you are in the willingness to make the change. Because what
Even if
I
it's,
feel like
yeah.
I just feel like it's really easy for us as humans to, like, get so caught up in where we were before, and then we'll get in that caught up cycle of, like, well, I'm trying to change or I hope to change while we actually, like, are taking the steps and doing the things. So, like, when we just, like, are present and acknowledging that, yes, I am making the changes right now, I am taking the steps, I feel like it helps us be able to progress forward more and to also kind of like let go of, past attachments, past feelings, past mindsets, because it really is different. When in the past you were thinking about and envisioning yourself doing something, and compared to now when you actually are in the steps and taking the steps. So just gotta carry our mind with us, so to say.
Absolutely.
And I think to touch back on what you just said, like even using myself for an example, I do a lot of things, a lot of things, but I like it like that. But I do have my shadow self, or a shadow trait I would have would be putting it off. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And all of a sudden, shit, it's been a week. It's been, oh
Yeah.
God, it's been a month. Oh no. Oh wait. Now it's been 2 months. Like, uh-oh. Uh-oh, what's happening? Like, right?
Yeah. That
That's
famous
normal too.
saying.
Like, just take one little tiny step. Whether that even be like, I don't have time to take the full action I was gonna want to take today. I'm gonna just abbreviate that instead and write it down so I remember exactly what I wanted to do. That's a step, even if it doesn't feel like what you wanted it to be.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah. Small
right?
steps.
That's so important to remember that part. Like, okay, it may not pan out the way I wanted it to look, but nevertheless, it's still going.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. Small steps are better than no steps at all.
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. As long as you're moving in the right direction, you're moving in the right direction.
Exactly. That momentum is so key. Like, momentum is such a real thing. And I feel like we've been trained or conditioned as humans to always just kill our own momentum, like self-sabotage. Basically, it's like, oh, I'm doing all this stuff, I'm taking steps, but then it's just like, well, I don't feel like I'm worthy. I'm a piece of shit. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not even changing. And then all of a sudden, we just go back. It's like, man, if we can get
Okay.
ourselves out of that cycle and help each other get out of that cycle and stay in continuous presence, so to say, and like moving forward, we're gonna be like so much more sustainable and so much more effective with honestly being able to change and just go through our issues together.
Absolutely.
Well, if you tie it into what we've been talking about today, a lot of us still eat colored stuff, synthetically colored stuff. It's in everything, And so that could be why there's also another level of pressure on adults of having stress and overwhelm and anxiety, a little more than we would usually have. And that's because of this stuff also. It also affects us too.
Oh yeah.
Of course, our kids are the future and we need to focus on them, but also us too, I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
even though we were focusing mostly on like kids, we're big kids at the
Yeah.
same time. It's like
Yeah.
we didn't trade in a different body after we hit 18, you know, like it's still the same thing. So anything that they say is going to affect children is also going to affect adults, even though our brains are like almost developed or fully developed, what have you. The biological effects that these things have still ring true no matter what age you are. And your body may be a little bit more accustomed to it, like we had mentioned, like if you're consistently eating processed things and whatnot, that's kind of your baseline and that's what your body is used to. But it doesn't mean that there isn't still biological effects that are happening within your system. They're keeping you like either more anxious or more depressed or lack of attention and so on and so forth.
Or let's go into having too many xenoestrogens in your body throws off your balance of your hormones, which means the cortisol is also affected, which is a stress hormone, right?
Absolutely.
So then when you have higher levels of cortisol, it affects all kinds of things. You start gaining weight, your thyroid, your endocrine system, it all starts going, it's all connected, like everyone's like, why is this happening? Why? Wait, wait, we have an answer. It's everything combined. It's every little tiny thing over, let's see, they started doing this in the 90s. Okay, so that's been 35 years now.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing what's happening. Look, this is what's happening. This is the effect now.
These are all phases, like they've had strategic phases over the centuries that have all been mapped out together for centuries long of these strategies and systems.
The big boy is thinking 100-year, 500-year plans, not 5-year plans.
It goes deep, like it goes when you think about you learn about like how life is in cycles, and you just learn about how there's different cycles of the same things that kind of happen on this planet, and you actually like go back and study like ancient history and ancient philosophy, how ancient Atlantis and like all these different civilizations, ancient Egypt, they were prosperous, they were pure, they were spiritually abundant, they were resourceful, and a lot of it was natural. It was crystalline. It was based off of free energy. It was based off of the earth, based off the sky, things like that. And then it's like you learn about the Crusaders, the Romans, and like all these different conquerors, and then they come in, and then all of a sudden it's like a pattern of just like that prominence of being spiritually abundant and being unified as a civilization all of a sudden starts collapsing. And then it goes into a dark age.
Well, Marcus, back in when they burned the Library of Alexandria, that was one of the first recorded massive book burnings there was, right?
Yep.
That was a long time ago. That's many layers of BS.
That's what I'm saying. Same cycle.
Yeah.
And now
we've been derailed since then, basically,
Yep. And now I feel like we're kind of like closing out those cycles now in this time that we're in.
Oh, we are. It's just that in 3D world, it takes a long time for the reaction.
There's too much awareness.
That's the trick right there, is that our society nowadays is very much dependent upon instant gratification. And that instant gratification has taken away a lot of our ability to be patient with the process. And the patience in the process is what it takes to actually make real change, to actually like commit to having better health, committing to having better habits, and committing to having a better overall state of being, because it's not an overnight thing. It takes a long time. I've been, like, personally, I've been transitioning everything that I've been doing ever since like 2017, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been almost 10 years, and I still, like, the water that I have is in plastic jugs, even though I try and drink out of a copper water bottle, you know? But it's so hard to get away from some of this stuff that you kind of have to pick and choose your battles at first of, like, okay, so what's the most basic necessities that I need to switch to just at least make a small start. And like you were saying, just kind of getting in that mindset of, like, I am making changes and starting with the small habits and just changing little small things as you go along. It's those translate into much bigger things as you go on, and it takes patience with the process to allow those big things to come to fruition. Otherwise, you just end up going right back in the direction that you're already in.
So, like, okay, let's talk about some simple things. Like, you know, I am in the same position too. I started changing my life in 2016. And so, well, December 9th of 2015 is when I decided that was the moment of, but the actual action of changing it was there forward, you know. So, but, like, let's go back to that moment. All right. I learned to, wait, I'm not a victim. That was a whole process for me in itself, different topic, different conversation, right? But
big one, yeah.
So after I decided to make changes within my life and started down the road of life, I first stopped drinking soda every day.
Yep.
And then I also first started just eating more vegetables and fruits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And started taking omega-3 6-9s and taking some legitimate vitamins that weren't synthetic.
Yeah.
That's what I first started doing. Because I took benzodiazepines for 17 years. They were prescribed to me, and I stopped them cold turkey. And so I immediately started taking omega-3s and stuff like that. So I can kind of rebound that reaction or whatever, you know. And so that was how my journey started, was just those, not taking 7 cans of soda a day. You know what I'm saying? That was one of my big things. And then I tried to throw myself into the deep end and tried to go vegetarian right away, and that didn't work. Like, my body like reacted all crazy and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So then I just had to start doing more natural things and looking for non-GMO. They still sold non-GMO at that time.
Yeah.
You know, they don't really do that anymore, kind of, sort of. It's not like it was, you know.
No.
And then eventually evolved into learning about how food's medicine, you know, increasing my herbal knowledge. But then, like, doing the dirty dozen, like the organic things, that's how mine looked as far as the progression of my change, you know. But yeah, that's why I say just take it small, take it short, take it little, you know, if you need to. That's okay, you know. It's cool.
Absolutely. Yeah,
You
I
know?
can say that my path was very similar. I had a experience around 2016 Christmas time with a couple of friends, a very potent psychedelic experience. And that I'm grateful that psilocybin is a medicine that can start to rewire your mind. Not that I'm recommending it to anybody out there. It is an illegal substance.
Great.
But it changed my life that night because it started making me question things in a different way, and that led me to doing a lot of research, and then that led me to cutting out soda, and then like you said, start to go for the like non-GMO things, incorporate more vegetables, try and cut out like the sugary products, and it was a step-by-step kind of thing. And then, like, around 2018, 2 years later, that's whenever I hit the, like, going fully organic point.
Yeah.
You know, it was not an overnight thing. It was like, it's still a process that I'm in the middle of 10 years later almost.
Oh yeah.
So,
For sure.
Yeah, so being patient with the process and giving yourself grace and knowing that like you're not a victim. I mean, in some ways, we're all victims
Yeah, yeah.
of the way that things are, but we have the ability to choose differently. So we don't have to
Well,
be the victim, you know?
I should maybe clarify that was not meant as a disrespectful comment to anybody. It was me. I went through a dark night of the soul. I realized that, oh my God, I've been the reason for all this, not anybody else.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, so
Um,
like, yeah, it was
yeah.
kind of deeper than that, but you know.
I understand what you mean for sure,
Yeah, yeah.
but there's definitely the processing time of like, oh my God, the entirety of our life has been dictated by things that were out of our control for the interest of a bigger corporation to make more money, not necessarily
Yep.
for us to be healthy, you know?
Yep.
And that's
True.
that's a heavy thing to take on because you realize that your life hasn't necessarily been your own and that you haven't had like an opportunity to necessarily think for yourself or determine what's better for your health
Oh my
until
God.
you start to realize these things, right?
Oh yeah.
And
I remember the first thoughts I had were like, wait, when I first realized that whole thing, when I had the realization that my life had just been a blur of working and going and getting drunk with my friends or whatever, right? Like, I was like, I kind of felt, I don't know, like, damn, my whole life has been a lie, but not really, but hollow, kind of in a way. I didn't
yeah,
realize that. I just thought that we were supposed to do all these things, like, you know, go to games every Sunday and get totally drunk and hammered and maybe not call in on Monday. And I just thought that's what people do.
yeah, and that's what's been normalized. That goes back
Yeah,
to like what we're showing on TV and in movies and cartoons and everything is
yeah,
where it's good because that's a lot of what's promoted.
yeah.
And
There's a
then you
liquor
look
store on
at,
every corner, a bar everywhere. Like, you
yeah,
could throw a rock.
absolutely,
Okay, there's one. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's,
absolutely. It's wild. It really
yeah,
is. So there's definitely like a weird grieving process that one
yeah,
goes through whenever you start to
for
realize all these
real.
things. But it's empowering at the same time.
And then you're going to
Wow.
also have a weird feeling too, because everyone's going to go, what?
Yeah.
Whatever. You know? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
true.
weird because I mean, whenever I started changing my life, I mean, there's still people that think I'm super radical in what I do and tell me how I should do things and how I should have parented and everything else. And it's like when it's easy to say that it's radical whenever you are on the other side of it and still in it, but if you don't realize how radical that is, how radical everything is whenever it comes to
Mhm.
like what's in our food, what's in our products, what's in everything that surrounds us that we've been sold, you start to realize that it's not radical at all to not want to have that stuff in you.
Yeah, it's true. No, like, that's a really real thing, you know, like, I have been called just because I wanted to eat organic. I'm not gonna say who this was. It's funny and I'm not offended at all. But someone said, "Oh, you're a tree hugging, twig eating hippie," because I wanted organic food. And I was like, thank you, I appreciate that comment, actually. But no, like, you know, yes, but no. Like, like, yeah, but it's not offensive to me.
No, as a matter of fact, I do hug trees on my walks sometimes
Yeah.
because you know
They're actually
not wrong.
connected, right, to us. Like, if they awaken, we awaken. You know,
It's kind of funny. No, I've
the
had
more Mother Nature awakens, is what I'm saying. You know, like,
yeah, and it's weird because it really is incredibly radical how far things have gone and how far we've drifted from the natural means of living that we had just 100 years ago. And it's only taken 2 generations for us to completely pretty much forget how to garden properly, how to raise our own food, how to create natural fiber clothing, and like all of our entire life has been dependent upon commerce and economy and stuff. Like all of our stuff is sold to us. There's no connection between our food and us and the planet anymore. It's we go to a grocery store and it's a transactional thing. It's like we're not out there putting our hands in the soil, like actually getting it ourselves, or out there milking the cow, if that's what you're doing, you know. That's a disconnect. And that's radical, because like there's no disconnection between us and the planet. Anywhere you step, you're on the ground. Even if you're in the water, like you're still connected to the ground. If you're up in the air, you're still on the planet, you know. There's no disconnecting from it. It's all one thing. And
add to that real quick?
Go for it, yeah.
Let me add to that real quick, like the whole like disconnection part that you were just thinking on, the food. So you add in the soil depletion as well.
Yeah.
And then you also add in too, instead of us, you know, having this electromagnetic connection through our heart and through our being, through our mind, through our intentions, through our Reiki, if we're Reiki attuned, you know, we're going to get this food and we're going to go get it from a fast food joint. And then this fast food joint is going to be filled with what? Stress,
Nanotech.
anxiety, depression, anger, and a lot of negative emotions, and also really rushed energy as well. And then that's going to take place of the nutrition, and then that's going to be fed to you as well energetically. So there's just so much madness to the methods.
That's a huge topic right there, is the energy transfer that comes with food to your body, because it is information and it is energy in its own right. And it depends on if you're taking in energy and information that's alive and alkaline, or dead and angry and traumatized, right?
Acidic.
Yeah. Like,
you know, also, you know, you think about it, the soil, they used to amend the soil with boron, and there's something else, I forget the name of the mineral, that they used to put in all the time, and they don't. And one thing I've learned down this journey of detoxification and neurodivergency is that minerals eat metals. And so if you take away the minerals from the soil, we don't have any more minerals left, and we can't get rid of the metals that, so therefore all the things we've talked about today, they just get buried right in there. They just nestle right in our cells, like, because they're devoid of minerals.
So,
you know,
that's fascinating. I actually did not know that minerals eat metals.
Yes.
But that makes a lot of sense, because a couple weeks ago I got curious as to the big hype here lately has been like ivermectin over the last couple of years in the pharmaceutical world. And I was like, well, everything has a derivative. Everything comes from something. You don't just like magically whip up something in a lab and it like appears out of nowhere. Like it has to come from something here on the planet, which is also part of the disconnection that we have. But ivermectin, it comes from a bacterium in the soil, and it's an anti-parasitic, and
sounds right.
Parasites bind to metals, right? So
yes, they do.
Cancer is largely parasitic, if Alzheimer's has a lot to do with heavy metal and everything else, and it would make sense that if you're putting a bacterium from the soil into your body that helps eat those metals and helps get rid of the parasites and everything, that it would clear up your problems. So that's a very fascinating little tidbit of information right there.
Okay, so what you want to do is look for nutritive herbs. Selenium gets rid of mercury. Silica gets rid of aluminum. So what you'd want to do is like maybe put some shilajit with So the sea moss or things that have the minerals and trace minerals in them. Also, there's a lot of studies I've done research on looking into salt and the contaminants in salt, because salt typically is very healthy for us and is packed full of nutrients like minerals and sea minerals, trace minerals, things like that. However, when it's cheaply mined, it gets really close to mines of to veins of glass. I guess they grow really close to each other inside the earth. And so if you cheaply, there's major commercial companies out there that are using particular practices on mining their salt. And it's called table salt, and it's a cheap mining practice. And so therefore it has a certain degree of actual glass in it. And that's actually why it's bad for you.
Wow.
Other than the fact that it's synthesized, yes. The molecular structure actually contains fractions of it. And so it actually cuts up your body, So the difference is mineral. I have 2 different salts I have here at the house. I can give the information out to the audience, but not offhand at their room. But they're salts that have been tested for heavy metals and contaminants and stuff like that, because they go hand in hand. So when you're going down the rabbit hole of reestablishing your health and everything, it's really good to get your minerals like magnesium, all those ones you need, right, set, along with the trace minerals and trace minerals first. And like amino acids, that's the building blocks. And start there. And then once those are established, then you can put the vitamins and the minerals in, because otherwise they won't absorb properly.
What are some salts that you would recommend, or like any particular brand or anything like that that's actually like cleaner than another?
Yeah, I actually have one right there. Hold on 1 second, I'll grab it.
Oh, perfect. Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. Real quick, while she's grabbing that, I would like to say that Shilajit that she mentioned actually comes from an ancient soil. If people don't know that, it is the resin of ancient soil that has all sorts of minerals and nutrients in it that are fantastic for detoxing your body and helping your cognitive health and everything too. So Shilajit is legit.
Shilajit.
Okay, so I brought 2 different things I'd like to share. This one here is by Highlands brand, and it's called Bioplasma, and they're cell salts.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
Nice.
And these apparently have a very small label. But they have all the building blocks in molecular, or like nano-sized molecular structure wise, of all the minerals. And they're said to help star seeds, actually. And so I gave these to my child. Like, see the bottle has like 1,000 in there. So he's taken this many so far. But it helps to start the basis of accepting minerals and vitamins, right? Because if you don't have any minerals, how are you going to absorb a vitamin? You have to have, amino acids, and then trace minerals, and then minerals, and then vitamins, and then prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics. In today's society, there's so many products thrown at us that sound amazing, but don't work because the body isn't ready for that level yet. Like we were talking about, you have to go in phases.
Yeah.
And so you might be sitting on the couch one day and hear this beautiful commercial for probiotics, prebiotics, all this stuff, but your body still doesn't have a hold on your minerals and your vitamins. So is that putting the cart before the horse? Yes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's the misdirection also in health, is that people don't really know where to start. There's so much information, right?
It really is. And that's a very valuable point right there, is that something that we haven't mentioned yet is that your nutrient absorption is very much affected by processed foods, by all the stuff that we've been talking about. Not only does it just with the hormones and everything else, your gut your microbiome in your gut is made up of all these little bacteria and all these little bugs, and whenever we're eating things that are like either killing those bugs or creating bad bacteria within your gut, you cannot properly absorb the nutrients that you need to absorb to help keep your body healthy. And until you start like getting all that stuff out and start readjusting your microbiome and getting your microbiome back in check to where it can absorb those nutrients, they're not going to do you any good until that
you're
point.
gonna get, like flu-like symptoms. You know what I'm saying? You're like, or whatever. Yeah. So like, okay, as far as the salt goes, I have always been a fan of Celtic sea salt, gray Celtic sea salt. It's been found to have contaminants. Red Mill, Bob's Red Mill sea salt has been found to have Yes, Bob's Red Mill. So Saltwork is a really great brand that has been completely verified and tested. I have another one on my counter. I have to get the actual label because it's in an actual jar of mine without the label. So, but this is one I can show you here right now, and this is a verifiable clean salt that gives you mineral profiles. And you just you make sure your hands are clean, of course. And then you just pinch some out and you kind of like grind it in your fingers over your food,
Nice.
So you can always do that. But this is what I use. It's great for you. I could send a link for the salt studies over. There's a 2025 review and testing of all the salts. I was looking into the herbs as well because I'm curious about tea and herbs and things like that, so.
Yeah. Do you know if this brand here was on that was like...
That's the one I used to use. That's the one I used to use. And I have, no, it's unfortunately not.
Well, I'll have to get some different salt here soon then.
Yeah.
Oh man, really?
Yeah.
That's a bummer. See, even like I said, it's a process, man. Even now.
I used that salt for like 7 years. I understand. 8 years. And I just recently found this out last year. I was like, what? Oh my God.
Well,
okay.
I think I saw that same study, but I don't know. I'll have to look into it farther because I question it. I mean,
who did the study, right? Exactly.
And also, like, since it's sea salt, the sea has literally everything in it ever, So, of course, there's going to be, metals of some degree in it. I just question, how prominent they are and, how much damage is actually causing to your body. Because this is one of the few salts that they will actually sell at a natural grocery store. But at the same time, I've seen, pops and all sorts of stuff at a natural grocery store, too, that...
Well, so Food Babe did a study where the red lentils at their generic natural grocers brand came up super high in glyphosate. They're supposed to be organic, you know what I mean? And so there's just things that get through you. I've been following Food Babe for 10 or 15 years, I guess, but yeah. Because there was an article, that was several years ago that I found that out. But I mean, you're right. We really can't get away from any of this. I mean, we can avoid a lot of it, but to fully be away from it is impossible.
Yeah.
It's in rainwater.
Yes, it is, unfortunately.
So, even something as innocent as your kid playing out in the rain is changed.
It really has. And that's only been within the last 30 years, like you said.
Yep.
And that's infuriating to a degree because I'm 31.
Yeah.
Which means that
my kid still does it. It is infuriating. Then I'm like, okay, now we got to detox. Come over here.
Yeah, it's like you got to detox a whole lifetime worth of stuff. But
so we can't not live our life because these people are psychopaths, right? I mean,
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
you just gotta take it day at a time and do your best, man. And staying vigilant and doing your due diligence and research and making sure what you're putting in your body is as clean as it can be. That'll help mitigate the toxins that we do get exposed to. And I will say that, like, since I transitioned, I've been trying to eat like fully organic for multiple years now. And whenever I would accidentally eat something that was not organic a few years ago, after I first transitioned, it hit my body like a Mack truck, dude. Like, I would have like headaches, digestive problems, and like sinus problems for multiple weeks, and it'd be terrible. But now my body handles it a lot better if I accidentally slip up and take something that I didn't mean to. So you do become more resilient over time, and your body will start to handle these things better. But yeah, it's really hard to get completely away from.
So yesterday I couldn't resist. A client gave me this little package of cherry gummies, and they were completely artificial and they were completely fake. And I was just like, I don't know, I had to have one. So I did. I ate some.
Yeah.
And I could feel it within 5 minutes. It was like a in my head. It was weird. I was like, whoa. I stopped. I was like, well, that's probably from those cherries things I just had or whatever.
Yeah.
It was wild. Yeah, I could totally feel it. It was strange.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't resist. I know I shouldn't have done it, but I did.
I do that once in a while too. I'll eat some candy just because of a social thing, and all of a sudden I'm just like, wait a minute.
Yeah, my head feels all weird. I feel all tingly. I'm like, whoa. Yeah.
For real. So I have a little something to share, and this is gonna be about detoxing and just like different parts of the body. I did see in the questions, Jessica Lake in the comments, and welcome in. Yes, would you recommend a detox before introducing all of the minerals? So, I mean, there's definitely like multiple ways to go about it, of course, and it's authentic to yourself. But, a couple of ways that I could say would be like, number one, you could go about it where you methodically choose to detox first, and then you introduce to resupplement yourself. Or you can find a way to kind of make it a parallel weaving where, say, one part of the day you're detoxing and then another part of the day you're supplementing. So it's really up to you and what feels best to your authentic self, because you're going to have a different astrology, you're going to have a different life path, you're going to have a different lifestyle, things of that nature. So I just consider those things. What about you, Evan or Sarah? What do you guys think about that question?
I think Sarah had a great point that minerals kind of help eat the metals and stuff like that in your body. So I think that introducing certain minerals and stuff could definitely be a catalyst for the detox process. I think it could help. I will say that if you're just starting out and if you're wanting to at least get your body to a more clean state before starting to introduce nutrients and stuff, or the minerals and stuff, that fasting is always one of the best ways of getting your body to a cleaner state, because after so long of not eating, your body will start to consume the damaged cells and the cancer cells and the toxins that are not supposed to be there. And eventually it'll get to the good stuff that you shouldn't be getting rid of, and you'll know when that happens. But for the most part, people nowadays have so many toxins packed into them that starting off with a fast is almost like one of the best things you can do, because if you're eating consistently, your body is focused on digesting and is putting the energy into that. Whereas if you remove that and you allow your body to focus on just getting rid of the stuff that's already in there, then it's going to act a little bit more efficiently.
you know,
Okay.
someone may want to start with researching trace minerals and amino acids,
That's a
and
good start.
perhaps getting some type of end of day or midday drink. You know, like a smoothie. I wouldn't suggest having them in the morning. I would say midday, and start incorporating that into their diet. You know, whether first take a, in my opinion, where you want to start with that would be to take a look at your own intake of everything, and then find out what you're lacking, and find out what you have plenty of, and find out what you could, you know, get all the different categories, right? And then you can start to notice your own patterns. Do you feel like you have a lot of acid? Do you feel like you're constipated? Do you feel like, gosh, my body's not moving right? Or do you feel like you can, yeah, I'm regular? Do you feel like I rarely get stomach acid? Do you feel like, write everything down and then take a look at it? You know, and then, you know, maybe look into what do amino acids do for the body? What do electrolytes do? What do trace minerals do? You know, what are they good for? You know, like, just start there, you know, and then you could maybe consider doing like switching out a products thing. Like instead of buying Jimmy Dean sausages, buy the natural version, or go a step further and buy the organic version. And then eventually you go on down the road, you start buying the plant-based version or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but start looking at your own life. You know what I mean? And because if you're already taking like nutrients or supplements or vitamins or something like that, you can look at what's in those and maybe back off on them and change, you know, reformulate your program. If that makes any sense. I don't know. I'm not sure where you're at there with your starting process, but like when the first thing I started with was synthetic prescription vitamins and prescription omega-369s. And then I took it on to plant-based vitamins and natural, like more naturally sourced 369s, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I started, the very first step I took. So yeah. But yeah, I think you're really right about the fasting. It just sounds a little daunting, you know. Because we've all been told we have to have 3 meals a day, right? You know.
That's what we're conditioned with, yeah. But
yeah.
that also goes back to who profits from that idealism.
For sure.
Yeah, and I mean, for farm workers and stuff like that, if you get up at 4 a.m. and you got to eat a breakfast to like do your work in the morning, that's one thing, you know. But like a lot of people aren't doing that. And
yeah.
I 100% agree with you that going in and doing research as to like what trace minerals and amino acids and like certain nutrients do for your body. That way you have an understanding of like what you might be deficient in or what you might have too much of.
Yeah.
That can really help you calculate where you're trying to start with it. And
or even
go ahead.
Sorry, let me add real quick and I'll let you finish there. I just want to say, or even looking into like all the uses of magnesium, for example.
That's a big one. Yeah. I mean, they used to prescribe magnesium for everything. And nowadays it's like one of the most untalked about things that you can go to. But Epsom salt baths are fantastic because they are high in most of them anyway are high in good source of magnesium for you. Some of them have magnesium that your body shouldn't get into it. There's different forms of magnesium, and that's crucial to look into. But yeah, it's incredible what each of these little minerals do for you, and what can happen whenever you just start getting a little bit of them back into your system and they're absorbed properly. So and then being patient with the process too, because like we said, a lot of the stuff that people have been consuming have detrimental effects on your nutrient absorption and your ability to process those nutrients and energy for your body. So being patient with the process and just taking it easy on yourself and giving yourself grace and not trying to go too fast with it is kind of crucial in its own way.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah,
Man, it's been
for
awesome.
sure.
Oh, we have a response from Jessica. He said, "Thank you for clarifying. This has been super helpful. I have been taking Shilajit and sea moss. Sea moss is a great one too. But
Yeah,
I
it's-
know there's more in my body that needs to be detoxed. Fasting is a great idea." Yes, great question, Jessica. We really
Great
appreciate when you guys ask questions because that allows us to be able to expand and also grow together in the knowledge that we have and the wisdom that we can share. So thank
Absolutely.
you, Jessica, for doing that.
Yeah,
I'd like
thank
to
you.
add something. One thing I've found beneficial for myself, I clean houses during the day, but so very physical. One thing I've learned that helps me a lot is amino acids. Beet juice even too, but amino acids are really great to start the day or end the day, to help relieve the muscles and the overexhaustion and stuff like that, overexertion.
Yeah.
So I know that amino acids are kind of like the building blocks of life, and they're found
Yep,
in
that's
literally
exactly
everything.
why.
Do you specifically know like where the amino acids are being derived from, or what kind of amino acids are you going after?
Well, we have a drink that we've purchased that
I like
has them in it,
coconut.
and it has the full profile. But as far as where they're sourcing them, I do not know. It's a fairly reputable company. I can get the container for you if you want to see it, but I don't know what you want to do. But it's by Melaleuca brand, and it's like a jar, and then it has flavoring in it, and then you put it in water, like they say, after you get done working out or with your physical activity. So, but anyway, we found great. It helps you feel better. I don't know. Maybe I should look into a
Collagen.
better source for that one. But
Collagen's really good.
Collagen's
yeah.
great.
Oh yeah, I
Spirulina.
do have collagen too from a really great company in there too.
Spirulina.
Yes, I have
Spirulina
that.
is fantastic. Spirulina and moringa powder, they
Oh,
both
Oh yeah.
have most of the amino acids and nutrients that your body needs, and they both bind to heavy metals and help vehicle them out of your body.
Nice.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like activated charcoal as well when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
While it's on my mind, chlorella is the only plant that has the active form of B12 that humans can absorb and process in their body.
Wow.
And that's also a great detox plant right there, too.
I have a really great green powder from Mike Adams, the Health Ranger store. That's got chlorella in it. It's really nice too.
Oh man, we're putting out the big guns now.
Yeah. I would love to say that we are told that we can only get B12 from animal sources, but we are not told that animals do not make B12 on their own.
They eat
B12
plants.
comes from, yeah, exactly. They eat
Oh,
the
don't even
plants,
get
and
me
that's how
started
they
about
get.
that.
Yeah, they get so B12. It's a complex vitamin. B vitamins are all like one thing, but they have like little specific. It's like a book that has different chapters in it, if you know what I'm saying. And each individual chapter holds a different lesson for your body or a different medical thing for your body. So, like the omega-3s are great for helping, and 12 are both great for your brain. 6, if you take too much of it, it can be carcinogenic, whatever. But for B12, we're told that we can only get it from like fish and beef and chicken and whatnot. but in reality, it's a bacterium that's in the soil. And if you are around healthy soil, you can actually absorb it through your feet if you're barefoot on the soil. But chlorella is the only plant that I've come across that has a bioavailable form of B12 that your body can actually process and digest and utilize for your health. So yeah, that moringa powder and spirulina powder are all fantastic for like not only detoxing but helping get like these amino acids and these essential nutrients into your body that are bioavailable on like a little micro level, to where they can be absorbed through your gut, and it's a lot easier on your body instead of trying to eat like a steak and then depending on your body to break down all the protein, everything else that's in there just to get to the B12. You know, it's a lot for your body to go through. A lot of energy is expelled to try and extract those nutrients. And what we also don't take into account is that the way that a lot of the meat is cooked kills all the nutrients anyway. You're not getting a lot of the nutrients. You're getting the protein, but your body doesn't need the protein. Your body needs the glucose, it needs the B12, it needs the B6, it needs the B3, it needs the magnesium, it needs the iron, and it needs all these complex things that work together to help your body function properly, and it's not getting that if you're only focusing on those things. So,
Yeah,
It's true.
that is so well said.
plant power.
Plant power. So,
So I have a question for you real quick. So you're saying chlorella, so would spirulina, all the things, the algae, like, you know, all the algae, would they have that same category of detoxification?
They are great for
Pretty similar.
not only providing nutrients, but helping get in. That's the beauty of them, because they function on such a micro level. They are also able to get into the blood-brain barrier and go in. And like you said, the minerals will eat the metals, right? And that's exactly what they're doing. These are bioavailable conscious forms of these minerals that will go in and they'll seek and destroy and take out the stuff that doesn't need to be there. Yeah.
Interestingly enough, so one of the colors they use as a natural coloring for like a blue-green color is the blue-green algae.
Yeah. And
So that's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, I've unintentionally dyed myself multiple times with spirulina. So
Yeah.
it's a great dye indeed.
Man, it's been good stuff. Good stuff, guys. So I just want to go over a little bit of this real quick. This is talking about different body parts to detox and what happens and why we may want to detox these specific parts. So we have the importance of detoxification for health cannot be overstated. Toxins that we ingest daily through food, air, and water can accumulate in our tissues and organs. This may lead to a wide range of health issues, from fatigue and skin problems to more serious chronic conditions. So your body has its own detox mechanisms. It has the liver, and the liver is for neutralizing toxins and converts them into exaggeratable substances. The kidneys, it filters the harmful substances and excretes them through urine. Then the skin expels toxins through sweat, and then lungs eliminates waste products via respiration. So some proven benefits of regular detoxification: we have improved overall health and well-being, stronger immune system and better defense against pathogens, more daily energy and vitality, better focus, increased mental clarity, and improved mood. And you can actually kind of correlate that to holistic healing or energy healing as well. when you think about when you have more energy, more vitality, you have increased mental energy and clarity and focus. That's also because you're now clearing out your chakra system, you're cleansing your electric system, and you're also clearing out any of the blockages that could be in your biofield. And when that happens, it then allows your vital life force or your kundalini energy or your electromagnetic system to be able to flow more properly and more balanced. And when that happens, you have more healthier mindset. You feel like you have more energy to create. You're more inspired, more passionate. You're manifesting more, and you don't feel sick and feel disease. So detoxing is really a great way to honestly open up your energy centers, to also clear out any blockages that could be in your chi. So like if you're someone that focuses on the chi, if you focus on your meridians, you're into like the traditional Chinese medicine or traditional Indian chakra balancing, this is all hand in hand, just parallel with each other and different perspectives, really. And detoxing, I would say, is one of my favorite ways to really allow myself to make space, so to say. And what I mean by that is if I feel like I'm emotionally too full, or I feel like I'm mentally too full, or I feel like I'm materially too full, and I'm like maybe a little too sluggish in my body, things of that nature because of how much I've eaten or what I've been eating, then I'll typically just detox for a day or so. And what's nice is that the body is like automatically programmed and designed to know how to self-regenerate and self-heal itself. So it's automatically flowing on that track system. All we have to do is remove the things that are in the way and also support it.
That right there is the best kept secret in medicine, is that your body will do what it needs to do, and to help keep you healthy, to help detox everything, if you provide it the right conditions.
Amen.
Because they want you to be dependent upon the pharmaceuticals. They want you to be dependent upon what makes them money, and it does not make them money for your body to naturally do it all for you.
Yeah. Seriously.
And providing the right conditions goes largely with detoxing and just cutting out the stuff that is disrupting your microbiome, disrupting your endocrine system, disrupting your hormones and everything else, and just allowing your body to be in a natural state, which it's supposed to be in.
Exactly.
Yeah. I do want to add, this goes back to one of the question that she asked. I've heard here recently that the best place to start is a liver detox, because everything has to pass through your liver. It's literally the filtration system for everything else. Before it gets to your kidneys or anything, it goes through the liver, right? So if your liver is damaged in some way, shape, or form, everything else is going to follow suit and be out of whack. Once you can get your liver back in check and get that balanced out and get it detoxed, everything else can start to fall into place. But
you're exactly right.
Yeah, focusing in on getting the liver cleaned out first would actually be like my first recommendation, now that I fully think about it. And that can be done with fasting. It can be done with just like cutting out the stuff that, like I just said, that's not good for you now, but adding in things that will help vehicle the stuff that's caught up in your liver out. And one thing that we haven't really touched on very much is sugar.
Oh snap!
That's yep. Here we go. Yeah. So sugar, what a lot of people don't know, like if it's in fruit, that's one thing. It's pretty well completely fine. Whenever it's granulated and down into the powder form, it is automatically processed through your liver as alcohol. Your body cannot tell a difference between alcohol and sugar, because what happens if you let something ferment that's sugar based, it turns into alcohol, right? That's alcohol is the precursor to, or sugar is the precursor to alcohol. So molecularly within our bodies, there is no difference between granulated sugar and alcohol. And alcohol has been, alcohol has been proven to say what?
The cheap one, not to interrupt you, sorry. Yeah, the cheap one everyone buys because the prices are so high, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's like coconut sugar and date sugar and stuff like that that's better for you. The best sugars you can get are 100% just from fruit, like mashing up some dates or something and just like putting that in your food. Maple syrup's a good one because that's literally just tree sap and water.
That's even a process thing, okay? If you're the one, that's okay. Don't be, shame yourself over it. But if you're buying that cheaper sugar, it's okay.
Yeah.
Just know now that that's causing troubles, and start to put into the budget for the food to buy the organic cane sugar. Okay, it's there. It costs more, but it's a step forward. And then you can go to another cleaner sugar, and then you could go to monk fruit, and then you could go to dates, and then you could go to honey. But again, give yourself baby steps.
Absolutely. And it's also crucial to understand that sugar and cheese are both as addictive, if not more addictive, than cocaine and heroin. They all have the same receptors in your brain that they activate your opioid receptors is what they do. And
right on the pleasure center.
Yeah, they hijack your pleasure center, and just like heroin does. And I've seen plenty of people come off heroin and meth that still eat sugary stuff every day, and
like crazy. Furthermore,
yeah, it's absolutely insane how normalized it is and how destructive it is for our bodies at the same time. So it is one of those things that you got to give yourself grace on, because boy, is it a hard addiction. Holy crap. I gave up cigarettes and that was easier than sugar, so it's definitely something you got to give yourself grace on and take it a day at a time and a step at a time. And like you said, figuring out, like, maybe go to organic cane sugar first, even if it is more expensive. But just making those small little swaps and taking those small little steps to be going in the right direction, you'll eventually get there. It's just patience with the process. And
so yeah, speaking of cigarettes, if you are a smoker, let's say you smoke Marlboro Reds, okay, well, they're full of chemicals. I worked for RG Reynolds Tobacco, and I know studies that they provided to us, and I myself am a smoker, and I have been through all these rabbit holes of vaping and gum and patches and all this, And so again, it's baby steps. Like right now, I'm smoking organic American Spirit Golds. Okay, I can't even smoke another cigarette because I can taste all the chemicals in them. Yes, I kind of guilt myself from time to time about this. Should I? No. You know what I mean? I tried to go do the vape thing, and then I realized I was just constantly sucking on that vape. And then I realized all the chemicals in those vapes, and it started giving me a headache. So then I stopped that, and I went back to the cigarettes because I'm like, okay, I just need to quit. Totally. Like, I can't, there's nothing else I could replace it with, even though my mind wants me to replace it with something.
Right.
Yeah. Like, it's also the action of it, like with me personally. Like, I feel like when I drive, I need to have something in my hand.
Yeah,
You know?
the hand mouth thing, dude. That's
Yeah, that's it with me big time. Like if I could just hold something and like, okay. Or, I don't know. That's a really deep topic. Like, how many people we know vape? My mother, who is 82, vapes.
mhm.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
she's been told that's safer than cigarettes.
It's
But is it
not.
really?
No.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like everyone
Especially
loves vapes because they taste so yummy. But I mean, like,
and then those metals and syntheticness.
yep.
Yeah.
And there's metals in there, and then there's like that chemical that causes popcorn lung and some of the other brands.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Diacetyl, I think is the name of it.
I do want to say that a lot of people don't know this. I didn't know this until last year, that nicotine actually has like antibacterial, antimicrobial, antifungal, antiparasitic properties to it. It's actually not really bad for you. That's why the indigenous people use tobacco and hape and all that stuff as commonly as they did, because it has really big medicinal properties to it. But that's also why big tobacco sabotaged it and turned it into something that it is now. But
Addictive, yeah. It's all the chemicals in there you're addicted to. That's why people have. So I was involved in a multi-brand conversion program back when you could do that kind of thing with cigarettes. They used to go to the bars and give out cigarettes and go to the gas stations and give you cigarettes.
right.
And so it is
So,
all about what's in the cigarette, like the sugar amount, the
Yes.
chemicals. That's why people want their brand, is because
Yes,
their body wants
absolutely.
those chemicals. If it doesn't have those chemicals, it's like, wait, what's the matter? Doesn't compute,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a real
Yeah.
thing too.
So, whenever I was quitting smoking, I was rolling my own cigarettes with the organic or American Spirit tobacco, and then
Yeah.
I went to the vapes, and at that time, I had a friend whose parents made vape juice, and it was just vegetable glycerin and some flavoring and the nicotine, which not great, but you could take your milligram dosage on the nicotine
Yeah.
at that point.
Right.
And I was able to consciously go from like 6 milligrams to 3 milligrams to 1
Yep.
milligram to 0, and then just be done. And a lot of people don't have that luxury now, because the vapes that they have to help people quit,
Well, 5 milligrams.
dude, yeah, and there's no getting anything that's like lower milligrammage. It's all just like that
You have, yeah.
cut and dry right there. So
You have to go to like a special vape shop and whatever. If
Yeah.
you just use VG only, there's only certain brands that do that, because you got to do it a certain way to carry the vape smoke. Like
Yep.
leads you into a whole bunch of rabbit holes. What's up with propylene glycol? Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like seriously.
Yep. Yeah, it's a whole lot, but nicotine is also found in like broccoli and cruciferous vegetables and stuff like that.
Nightshades. Mhm.
Yep, indeed. So that's why those plants have the antimicrobial, antiviral, antiparasitic properties that they do, because there's a lot of other nutrients in them, but the nicotine is there too. And yeah, they've definitely kind of weaponized tobacco and nicotine and stuff like that to make it a profitable thing that's not exactly healthy anymore, unfortunately.
Well,
But,
yeah, but I think that natives used to use it during ceremonies with intention and stuff like that too. So that's a whole different thing too.
Absolutely. And the intention is huge right there, because the usage of most people nowadays is not intentional at all. It's very much habitual and very
Oh, yeah. Very escaping, too.
yeah, it's an escape mechanism, which like I understand to a very high degree. Not shaming anybody, because holy shit, this life is crazy. But
Yeah.
No doubt.
yeah, it comes around to understanding like why they weaponized it and how they weaponized it, and then you kind of make your own choices on how you want to approach that situation, right? what's best for you and what's best for your body, and ideally what's best for the greater good of all in that same decision. So it's just patience with the process and giving yourself grace, like we've been saying, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, my battery's at 9% here, so I'm gonna get cut off pretty soon.
Oh,
Mine's at 8, but it's been charging this whole time. So
Oh, you got the charger on. I didn't put mine
Yeah.
on the charger.
that's cool. Well, it's also been about 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I just have a little short video I'm gonna play. This video is just gonna kind of recap and talk a little bit about different specific products and ingredients when it comes to children food and things of that nature, and then we can kind of close out.
Cool deal.
But it's been a great episode, like beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. Fantastic conversation.
Yeah.
I agree.
I could
Needs
see
to
this
be
being
had
like
at a more global scale.
for real.
Yeah.
I could see this being like a three-part episode.
Oh man, there's so much to cover. It could be a lot.
It could be a weekly thing for real for a month.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
2 months, a couple months.
Yeah, some of it gets redundant, but at the same time, like the redundancy helps drive it home because everything really is connected. And whenever you start to realize that a lot of it goes back to oil is a big one.
Yeah, for real, it sure does.
That ties in on a global scale whenever it comes to like wars and our government, and it's connected in with so many facets of life, not just food and like getting your own wellness products, but I mean day-to-day life for everybody, you know, and everybody is impacted by it. So it's the redundancy is there, but at the same time it's so deep that in order to fully understand, you have to be redundant with it, and you have to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper to understand it.
And, you know, on that same token, why so much redundancy? Why do they keep layering it on all of us? Everywhere you look, here it is, there it is. Oh, it's over there. Oh, see there? Oh, you can make a song out of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. You know.
I think it's also good for everybody too, because it can also like help people understand like it's not just the food, you know, it's not just the house products, like it's not just the clothing, like there's so
It's not
many
just
different
any
things.
one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. It's easy to get hung up on something, but truly, like I went down this deep dive just real quick myself this last week with Chobani having this lawsuit. I used their creamer and I'm like, oh, because they have a lawsuit against their yogurt package, which I'm sure they use the same plastic, right? So then I went looking for different creamer options and whatever, and I realized yet again, that the whole freaking store is plastic.
Yep.
Which one's the better plastic? I mean, I could look at the numbers on the bottom, I guess, but they're all plastic regardless.
Yes.
So now I'm at the point where I'm going to make my own creamer.
Nice.
You know, I'm deciding to add MCT into coconut milk or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there I am, you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's like it's frustrating for sure. Let's be honest.
It really is. And just real quick, I want to say that supporting people who are not a corporation like Jade's Wellness Trade, for instance, or other people that source their ingredients after learning all this stuff, that are making these products to be a healthy alternative for the collective, supporting those people is exactly the kind of revolution that we need, because everything is based on money. We vote with our dollars, and where our dollars go dictate who stays in business and who does not. And if we collectively start shifting towards supporting people who are consciously sourcing their products and consciously making products that are good for themselves and everything else, then we start to create more of a demand for these products. And once there's more of a demand, then there becomes more of a supply, and then everything starts to shift more and
Yep.
more and more, little by little, right? So,
I love that. Yes. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
yes.
That's well said. Well said right there.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And that's the thing too. It's like, we have and we know so many of us that are the solution already. So like, if we just shift to focusing on the solution with what it is that we have and that we do together, then we just get more of that, the more that we focus on that and put more into that. And that's how you like really collapse timelines and like open up different timelines and things of that nature. But that's a whole nother topic for a different podcast.
Yeah. Okay, my phone has literally gone dark, guys.
Uh-oh.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I better go. Thank you so much for this enlightening conversation today. I look forward to the next episode.
Yeah, thank you as well, Sarah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Marcus.
I'm gonna go ahead and close it out, and I'll just let the video play on the outro. So I thank both of you, and I thank Jade as well, and everybody
Yes,
that's
thank you, Jade.
gonna
Thank you,
watch this
gentlemen.
episode. And feel free, everybody, to leave comments and add to the conversation. Share your resources as well. If you're someone that creates solutions, feel free to share your solutions, and we'll help spread it as well. So appreciate you guys, and beautiful episode. I look forward to the next one.
Likewise.
Bye.
One love, everyone. Have a blessed day.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and personal care products companies that make lotions, soaps, and makeup are often quick to capitalize on a pink ribbon campaign that can earn a lot of green. But as 7 News senior investigator Lisa Fletcher reports, the pink marketing may be camouflaging products that can actually cause breast cancer.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. October brings out pink ribbons and marketing to raise awareness. But some of the products designed to make women feel beautiful may harbor a toxic secret. Remove the lid or press the pump on any number of personal care products, and what you'll often find are the dangerous ingredients that cancer prevention advocates are fighting against.
Breast Cancer Prevention Month brings out a lot of companies who piggyback on this wave of empathy and interest that the public has. But is some of it misleading?
Some of those same companies are actually poisoning people with the chemicals in their products, and including chemicals in their products that are linked to breast cancer directly.
Chemicals like formaldehyde, coal tar, benzene, and cadmium, known carcinogens that many women are unknowingly slathering on their faces and bodies. Like PFAS, a set of toxic forever chemicals sometimes used in lipstick to help it glide onto the skin. Parabens, which can be found in shampoo, and phthalates, often in scented lotions, all linked to cancer.
Unfortunately, in our country, the regulations are very weak.
Breast Cancer Prevention Partners CEO Suzanne Price says the U.S. is failing when it comes to safe beauty products. The European Union has banned 2,400 ingredients from personal care products because of health concerns. The U.S. has banned 11.
Right now, there is a huge trend of young girls at that puberty age wearing lots of makeup and using lots of personal care products. What you let your preteen daughters use as they're going through puberty, that could all have an effect on their breast cancer risk later in life.
Research shows whenever a woman's breasts are changing during puberty, pregnancy, and menopause, she is more vulnerable to these chemicals. But learning what's actually in the products isn't as simple as reading a label. You see this word all the time: fragrance. Under existing product laws, that word can be used to hide thousands of chemicals, which could be toxic or carcinogenic. In a 2018 study, 3/4 of the problematic chemicals in personal care products were fragrance ingredients.
Oh, it's very serious.
Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky has been fighting to clean up the personal care products industry for decades.
We're not going to be suckers here. We are not going to be buying products that are going to hurt us.
Introducing 17 bills over nearly a quarter century. The only legislation on the subject to pass was in 2022, expanding the FDA's authority to regulate cosmetics.
Have you seen any definitive action?
The answer is no. I'm sure that it is overburdened, the Food and Drug Administration, to get it done, but that's not a really good excuse.
Absent pressure from Congress and regulatory agencies, companies are continuing business as usual.
It's so hypocritical. If these companies are serious, then they have to look in the mirror and they have to make a decision that they're not going to put out products that actually could contribute to those illnesses.
A 2021 study found that more than half of all cosmetics sold in the United States contain toxic ingredients. There is a searchable database online where you can input your product to learn more about what it's made of. We will link you to that. Just click on this story on WJLA.com. Lisa Fletcher, 7 News.